In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create a high converting welcome flow inside your email service provider like Klaviyo. You see, most email gurus teach you to spam discount codes for 7 days straight and brag about open rates and attributed revenue, while their best leads bounce before even buying because the experience sucks. In this training, I'll walk you through the 7 biggest mistakes e-com brands are still making in 2025 and show exactly how we fixed them to generate multiple 6 figures in monthly sales from welcome flows alone. You'll learn our full 7-step flow structure that consistently turns up to 25% of new leads into buying customers, while setting up the stage for a profitable repeat customer relationship. Alright, and now the anatomy of high converting welcome flow. So the structure here is the starting point we use for most e-commerce brands, and it's consistently converting 10 to 20% and up to 25% of new subscribers into first-time buyers. And it's the closest things we come to an evergreen high-performing welcome flow that works across niches, but the ideal, of course, still depends on your brand's context. So let's start with the technical checklist here. So the trigger for the flow is added to newsletter list. And let's actually go into Klaviyo and build this out right now when I'm going through the checklist here. So let's take welcome series. Let's actually build our own. So let's take welcome flow example. Let's create the flow. And then this is going to be trigger. So add it to segment, or basically add it to list. So we take add it to list, newsletter, and then save. Alright, and then what else? So filters, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow. So we want to have added to cart, and I think since this is my example placeholder account that I'm creating this for, I don't think we have the added to cart event here. Let's see, added to cart, no. So we basically would have Shopify's icon here and it would have added to cart event. So we would add that here and we would press 0 times since starting this flow. So we would add that one. Then we would also add started checkout. So that's what we already have here. So checkout started 0 times since starting this flow. So you take it from here, and the same thing you would have done for the added to cart. And it's and. So then it's and place order 0 times over all time, because we only want to send it to people who have not placed an order. So let's see if we have that event here in the place order account. What someone has done, placed order 0 times over all time, and then and checkout abandonment flow doesn't equal active. And I have more info here about using these exclusion segments. This is basically just to optimize your flow journeys to make sure that people are never in overlapping journeys at the same time. So we would do checkout abandonment flow doesn't equal active. So let's go here, properties about someone, checkout abandonment flow doesn't equal active. Or another option here, checkout abandonment flow is not set. So that's first of all how we do the triggers and filters here. And then exclusion properties. So at the start of the flow, you want to have welcome flow property as active and then update it to inactive at the end of the flow. And this is again explained in the tutorial video that I'm shooting right now. So I'm explaining it. I wrote it here because this training is also going to be just given in this document format. So I'm referring to the video here. And basically this example here from my LinkedIn gives more context on this, but basically what we want to do is that we want to add a property here, profile property update, welcome flow. Let's go to welcome flow, update it to active at the start of the flow, and then we want to clone this, and then when the flow ends, we want to have this set up as inactive. And what this does is that basically it updates the profile of everyone who joins the welcome flow. We can tag those people with welcome flow active property, and then we can exclude them from all the other journeys at the same time. And then, when the flow ends, we can take the welcome flow property off from them, mark it as inactive, and then at that point, they're going to be back in receiving the campaigns, back in receiving the other flows. We just want to make sure that people are not getting overlapping communication from campaigns or other flows at the same time, and that's why we use these properties here in this flow. Then let's go into the actual flow structure. And here I'm going to explain all the key emails in the flow from number 1 to number 7. And note here, normally we recommend segmenting these emails based on the data we collect in the pop-up. I already showed it above, but basically they can have multiple different paths in the flow based on the zero-party data that we have collected. So for example, 7 email sequence for weight loss preference, and then 7 email sequence for longevity, etc. But now I'm just showing how to build the one path, and then if you actually wanted to segment it out, you would just add conditional splits in the flow, and then based on the data point that they had given, you would then just have other paths here. So I'm gonna delete this for now, but that's how you would do it if you were to segment it for multiple paths. Alright, so number 1, email is the welcome and incentive. So basically this is just the email that you send straight away after they sign up to your list. Content here is a simple welcome and the discount, simple welcome for them, and then giving the discount incentive they sign up for. You don't want to add any fluff or hide the offer like I already mentioned above. They're already warm and they're ready to buy, so you just want to deliver the discounts from the sender and get them to click the email to go to the site and finish their conversion. And here's an example from Disking. Welcome to Disking, here's your 5% discount, and then here above the fold CTA, hero image, and then explaining a little bit more about the brand, and then a social proof block, and explore our collections for people who are like more still on the fence and need some more guidance on what to actually convert to. So this is good if you have multiple collections to introduce them in the first welcome email. Alright, that's the first email, and then time delay is immediate, so we just add it here into the flow. Let's go email number 1. Then what you want to do with all these emails, you want to not skip recently emailed profiles, but you want to enable UTM tracking, and then that's basically everything you need to set here. And you can set the subject line and preview text here, and then you can select the actual template of how to create the email. You can also change the sender name and sender email address from here. So that's, let's say it would be just welcome, and then something whatever you want to say here, and then another preview text like here's your X% off or something, whatever you want to have here. So that could be it, and then from here you would select the template. And let me show you exactly, like for example, we could have, when we are creating a new email, I'm going to show it to you here in the first one, and then for the rest of them it's just going to follow the same structure. But basically how you would do, let's say we would do this email. What do we want to do? We create these emails always inside Figma. So we basically just have the email in Figma, and then what we do here is basically we slice the email into pieces. So we go, let's say this would be the first slice. Then we would duplicate the slice. We would slice the second section like this. Okay, then we would again duplicate it. We would slice the third section like this. Again duplicate it, slice the other sections, and here we would slice them actually from the middle basically. So these are separate sections like this. Alright, and then again from here we would take this slice, we would duplicate that one down here, and then we would duplicate it again like this. And now we have all the emails sliced, and what we do in this case, we would choose all the slices like this, and then we would export them as layers. So you can export like 2x PNG for example. You can export them into your computer, into your laptop, and let me just wait until it happens. So now I'm downloading them. They become they appear in my laptop in the documents section, in the file section as a zip file, and then I'm just gonna open the zip file. I'm gonna go to Klaviyo, and I'm gonna do the whole email basically in image form. So I'm gonna add here, right in this case I'm not gonna build the whole footer and everything, but I'm just gonna show how this process works. So basically you would add an image block, you would take an image block from here, you would go to select image, upload image, select image from here, you would take the slices, so slice number 1, you would take this one, and then Klaviyo provides this option nowadays to compress the images for you, and that's what you want to do because it saves you a lot of space. So you would compress the image, you would upload it, and actually one thing I want to mention still, if you want to have the email even a little bit smaller in size so it loads faster and everything, you could also export them as JPEGs, because JPEG file format takes a little bit less space, and then when you compress it, it's even smaller than PNGs. So that can be a good thing, especially if you're doing big emails and you want to limit the size so the loading speed is still good on the email. Because sometimes the loading speed might be slow, and then people are opening it with slow internet and they're not seeing all of the parts of the images, which is of course bad for clicks and conversions. Anyway, now you have this image here. You would basically just add alt text of this content here. So you would take you would go here, you would take the text blocks here like this, and then another one, you would copy this, you would go here, alt text, you would add the alt text here of the image, and then you would add a link. And how would you add a link here? You basically want to link in this way. So Klaviyo has tutorial. You want to auto apply the coupon code in the link. So whenever people press to the press the email to go to the site, the discount code is auto-applied to their cart. This minimizes friction again, maximizes conversions. And here's an example from Klaviyo, like how to do that. So if you're using a static coupon code from Shopify, you would use this structure of the link. And if you use like a Klaviyo dynamic coupon code that is unique for every recipient, you would use this, so then it would populate it for the specific recipient's coupon every time. So let's say it would be, you would use this for Kiakokingi, you would put the link address here, you would change this with the actual coupon name they use, you would change this part, redirect, new path, you would change this like collections if you want to put them collections page, or if you want to put them to some specific page, you would change this to that. And then basically my site, you would just take their site's name, site's URL and put it here. And that's how you would fill this. And then we would just fill the whole email in the same way. So you would go here, you would go again, upload image, you would go here, take the second part of the images, again here, take the compressed version, upload, and then you would build the whole email up like this. And this is the whole thing. This is super simple when you do it. Just change the alt text here and link to correct one again. But that's how you would do it. And then the whole email comes up like that. Alright, so that's how you do the first email. And then let's just move forward to the second one and show how it's done. So email 2 in our welcome flow structure is the brand story, founder background email, basically. And time delay, usually we want to send this, 12 to 24 hours after the first email. And, another point here is that reaching leads when they are super hot works. And we've actually seen good results going as close as 4 to 12 hours delay between the first two emails. People say that they don't want to spam, but actually we've tested it and it provides you more conversions in many cases. So it might be a worthwhile test to run on the welcome flow. And what is the content of this email? Basically, you want to build trust, share your story, why the brand exists, and what makes your product different. And then you want to remind of the offer if you have an offer here. So for example, Freya, we didn't have a specific offer for Freya in the welcome flow, but here's how the email itself looks like. So basically our story didn't start in a lab, and then, free shipping on every prescription order, and then, just let's rewrite your story, and then like a founder story email where she's like writing it basically herself, even though we wrote it for them. And then what makes Freya different here, and then from Bonnie, I've seen firsthand what happens when members feel informed instead of intimidated, when they're supported, not sold to. That's the heart of Freya. And then, take the 2-minute quiz to explore your options. So this is how we did it for them. And let's say we would put this email into the flow. We would just, clone the first one. We would change the content in the same way as I showed you in the first email how to do that. We would name this email number 2. And then we would change the subject line and preview text as well. And then basically we would add a time delay here between this to put, let's say, 12 hours, or let's say in this case 23 hours. Alright, that's basically. Then email number 3, bestsellers, problem solution framing. So this is usually sent like 1 to 2 days later than the email number 2. And the content here is to reframe and agitate their problem and introduce your product as the solution. And then highlight bestsellers or top categories in the email itself as well. And then example again from Freya, we have seen super good performance with this kind of email, especially for the telehealth, health and wellness brands, basically like a problem solution framing. So, here they're selling weight loss prescription treatments. So the weight wasn't your fault. Sorry, I'm not able to really zoom it well. So the weight wasn't your fault. Let's fix what dieting broke. And then here's a before after image, lost 20 lbs. Those who came to Freya have already put in the effort. They've meal prepped, tracked macros, cut carbs, added cardio. They've done what they were told and still felt stuck. If that's you, it doesn't mean you failed. It means the approach had problems. Then explaining biology over willpower. Basically framing like why have they not succeeded before and how Freya actually helps them succeed. So Freya's approach is medical, not motivational. So basically we agitate the problem, we explain the problem, we explain it logically for them, and then we explain why Freya, according to that same logic, is the actual solution that helps them finally fix the problem and solve it. This works super well for especially health and wellness brands. You're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a care plan built for your life, not someone else's. And then Freya includes this and this and this. Most Freya members begin with either semaglutide or tirzepatide. and then some social proof still here, customer testimonials on how it worked for them, and then the footer. So this is how it works basically. And email number 3 is usually sent 1 to 2 days later, like I said. So in this case, we would clone this from here. Let's put 1 day, and then save from here. And then just like, again, clone the email, put it here after the delay, then email number 3. And I would actually already add before the final property update. I usually add like a 1 day delay, so there's like a period after the flow where they wait 1 day, and then after that they're getting the welcome flow active property removed, and then they can start to go into the other journeys. So now let's go into the email number 4, which is social proof email usually. Again, 1 to 2 days later, and the content here, use UGC, reviews, influencer quotes, or before after stories to validate the product's effectiveness. And example here from Amo Beauty, more than a review, a ritual that works, read more, and then there's before after images, before and then 2 months. You've seen the promises, the before and afters, the bold claim, but let's be real, what matters most is what people actually experience. That's what Amo Beauty delivers. Then here's the code which we removed from this example email, of course, and then claim my 30% off. And then more customer testimonials from everyone, Tiffany, Tessa, and then just like all of these, 5-star reviews. And then you've seen the results, now it's your turn. Your 30% off welcome offer is still active. Use code at checkout, claim my 30% off, and then ending the email there. So that would be number 4. Go back to the flow, clone this one from here. Actually, no, like this. And then let's put like 2 days delay in this case. Okay, email number 4, and then let's save it. All right, and then let's be ready for email number 5. So that would be here, and then let's go back. So email number 5, last chance reminder. And usually this is sent 1 day before the incentive expires. So however long you want your incentive to be active, this would be sent 1 day before the incentive expires, and saying, last final reminder about the discount. Just keep it short and clear. Here's an example from one of our golf clients. The copy is in Finnish, so it's hard probably for most of my audience to understand, but here's final reminder, your discount is expiring. It's expiring in 24 hours. You have still time to find something from our selection, what makes your upcoming rounds even better. And then use the discount, it's automatically applied at checkout. Then over 1.4k satisfied customers, and then last chance, and then pushing to the categories. So this is the whole email basically. And let's say this would be sent, 2 days after email 4. So then we would just take from here, clone this one, go here, and then email number 5. All right. Then going to email number 6, which is the personal plain text email from the founder that I already explained a little bit before in this video. So time delay 48 hours after email number 5. So basically 1 day after the code has expired. And then the content here is sent as plain text from the founder or team member, asking why they haven't purchased and offer support. No pressure, helpful tone, and if applicable, offer second limited time personal incentive. So here's another example. Hey customer, first name. We wanted to check in as we noticed you haven't been an email subscriber for a while but haven't started your first treatment yet. No pressure at all, just wondering if there's anything we can help with or anything specific stopping you from getting started. We know that choosing weight loss or longevity treatment is a big decision, and we want to make sure you feel 100% confident before beginning. Whether you have questions about medications, the ordering process, or how the brand works, we're here for you. Just hit reply to this email. We'd love to help in any way we can. Looking forward to hearing from you. Warmly, the brand team. And then contact us, CTA here. And this would be a plain text email. And how would you create that? It would again be, first of all, 48 hours after email number 5. And this one would be set up a little bit different because it's a plain text email. So basically you would set it up in a way that you would drag this one here, let's say email number 6, and then you would, pick from here, change template. You would take change template, and then you would take text only email. And now that you do text only email, this is the plain text version. So the brand name team, you would just basically take the copy, write it here, and then looks like it's coming from an actual like Gmail. Somebody sent it personally, so it's usually received differently. It has higher open rates because of that. It's kind of like a pattern interrupt because it feels like somebody actually reached out to you personally. It's not like just a marketing email, and that's why it usually works super well in this context. All right, so that's how we'd make that. And again, let's name it email number 6 because it didn't save it like this. All right, and then we have one more email in the flow, which is the early sunset email that I already also mentioned briefly. So time delay 2 to 3 days later, only for those who opened or clicked none of the emails in the flow. So now we would basically go in here, we would put like time delay first of all. So we would put the time delay 2 to 3 days later. So let's say 3 days after email number 6, we would put a conditional split. And in here we would say what someone has done or not done. Has not opened email, so it basically has opened email 0 times since starting this flow, and has also clicked email 0 times since starting this flow. And then that would basically be it. And then if they have 0 times opened and clicked, it means they haven't engaged with any of these emails. And then here we would put basically put let's go here to the profile property update. So actually first we would put the early sunset email. So I'm gonna show it to you. So basically let's put early sunset email, but it's email number 7. It would be a plain text email again, as I showed in the example. So the example is basically something like this. Address to engagement, ask them to press the link in the email if they want to keep receiving email communication. Automatically clean away those who don't engage with this email. So you have this kind of email, then you press keep me on the list, and then if they don't press it, if they don't click this email or open this one either, then you will just update their profile property here. So you will set, email number 7, then you wait, let's say, a couple days at least. Let's say you wait like 5 days, or like, you can wait whatever, but let's say like 5 days you wait here, then you put here update profile property, and you put suppress equals true. If they have not opened this email, basically add another, actually you need to add this split again, sorry, I'm forgetting a little bit, but yeah, so basically you'll need to here add this split, which is gonna be, again, after this email, have they opened it or have they not opened it. So it's gonna be, again, the same thing, opened email 0 times in the last, or like 0 times since starting this flow, and clicked email 0 times since starting this flow. And then at this point, if they have, it's been 5 days after this email, they have still opened 0 times, then you would update them, suppress to true, and then you would basically also do the same thing here, which would be welcome flow to inactive. And then basically at this point it means that they are gonna get this profile property called suppressed, and then you can make a segment in Klaviyo out of those profiles who have the suppress equals true, and then you can just press suppress these profiles, and you can also automate this. I have a automated list cleaning tutorial also in my YouTube, so you will be able to find that, and that's how you basically automate the whole process. So whenever people go through the whole journey here, they have not opened any of these emails, they end up to this path here, they get the sunset email. Then in this case, if they after 5 days they have still not opened even in this email, then they would get the suppress equals true, and then at that point they would go to the suppress segment, and then if you have the automated list cleaning in place, they would be automatically cleaned away off the list. And if you don't have the automated list cleaning, you just need to set up like a reminder for every month, go to your Klaviyo, press suppress this segment, and then it will bulk suppress everyone in the segment. So it will take like 1 minute of your time to do it manually, but if you want to remove all the stress from that, you can just make the automated list cleaning process that I have a tutorial on as well, and then you can make sure that everyone is automatically being suppressed in real time without you having to touch the process at all. And then for the other paths here, it would basically just be this one cloned here. So if they actually did open, then they would not be updated to suppress, and they would just leave the welcome flow, and then they would stay at your list. And then here, if they had already opened some of these emails in the flow previously, they would just go to this other path here, and then the welcome flow would be updated to inactive, and they wouldn't even receive the sunset email. So you don't want to send a sunset email for people who have been active here. You only want to send it to people who have not been active, then gauge their engagement or engagement, and then after that suppress them or keep them on the list, depending on what they do in this email here. So that's how the whole process works. And again, here I just explained it in the video. So in the training, I'm gonna link back to the video, and people can follow the process, and hopefully it's helpful for you. So now, why your welcome flow is broken and how to fix it. And to start off with, most agencies love to show off high open rates and attributed sales on welcome emails, but they're optimizing for their dashboards, not your actual sales. And in this section here, I'm going to break down the 7 key things most brands are still doing wrong and how to fix them. So number 1, using double opt-in. And double opt-in basically means that whenever somebody is signing up to your newsletter, they're receiving this double opt-in confirmation email first. They need to open that email, they need to press I want to be a part of the list, and only after that they are part of your list and start receiving your marketing content. And this usually cuts your list growth by 40 to 60%, because most people never go to the inbox to confirm the first email, and after that they're basically lost forever. And switching to double opt-in is, switching from double opt-in to single opt-in, you can have like a super simple tutorial here. You need to press one button basically in Klaviyo, and it's the easiest way to increase your email list growth and performance. And the only case I would recommend against it if you have bad deliverability issues, and even in that case, I would just do a temporary fix to put the double opt-in on, so you can ensure that you get high open rates in the first email, and you get the deliverability boost you need to get your deliverability back up. But even at that point, once it's back up, I would switch back to single opt-in straight away. And basically this is all you need to do. You just need to go to Klaviyo, do your newsletter list, and need to change the opt-in process to single opt-in. Alright, number 2, removing the incentive from the pop-up confirmation page. And brands and agencies do this to make their welcome email perform better in the Klaviyo dashboards. So they're basically gatekeeping the incentive from the pop-up confirmation page and only showing it in the welcome email itself. And this of course increases the email attributed conversions and looks good on the Klaviyo dashboard, because you're pushing people from the website who are already high intent customers to go to the email, to open the email, to get the code from there, and then go back to the site to buy with it. So you're getting all these sales attributed to your welcome email and welcome flow. But the thing is that your warmest leads are already waiting, and pushing them off the site into the inbox is just an extra step of friction that harms your overall conversion rates. Like, somebody's already at the website, they're willing to buy right now, they're hot leads, then it doesn't really make sense to just say to them, hey, go to your welcome email to get the code and then buy, because then they drop off the site, maybe they get something come up, maybe somebody calls them, and then they forget to finish the whole process. And so this is just unnecessary step of friction that is risking you sales. And if your agency or whoever is managing your emails doesn't talk about this, you might want to ask them why. And bottom line, you should start including the offer in the pop-up sign-up page for increased website conversion rates. And this will decrease your Klaviyo attributed revenue in the numbers, but it will actually increase your overall sales, because you don't do anything with the numbers in Klaviyo who say that there's every sale is attributed to your welcome email 1, for example. What you actually want is more sales for your business, and this is the way to achieve that. And here's an example how you can do that. For example, for half, 15% off. Use this code at checkout. They're already giving it on the confirmation page of the pop-up, and then back to site to go buy. Number 3, not collecting third-party data on pop-up or welcome email. And so if you're not using the pop-up to collect key preferences or interests, you're flying blind in your follow-up. Even just one question helps. And here's an example from online CE credits. How do you prefer to earn your CE credits? On-demand home study or live webinars? So this is 2 different subsets of people, and based on which one they press, you can serve them much more accurate, much more specific and relevant content. Number 4, one generic journey for all subscribers. So this is tied to the third one here. Segmentation doesn't need to be deep, but it must be relevant. And for example, for a D2C brand with one product or category, this is not as important, of course. But let's say you're a telehealth brand selling weight loss treatments, selling longevity treatments and sexual health products. The ideal customer journeys look totally different for all these subsets of your audience. And thus you need to segment your onboarding flows for these different personas in mind. So here's an example from one of our clients. How can you do this? We have basically two different types of pop-ups. This one is for the coffee category pages, and this one is for like the mushroom elixir category pages. And we're asking them, you've got 15% off. To claim your discount, share your number one coffee goal. And then here, share the main problem you're trying to solve. And then you have like toxin-free coffee, gentle caffeine boost, focus and brain power. And then here with the mushroom elixirs, you have basically enhanced focus, boost immunity, increase energy, or improve sleep. What is the main goal, main problem they're trying to solve? And then based on that, we have pretty much 7 different data points that we can use to create 7 totally different, welcome journeys for these people. And here you can see how the flow then looks like. So there's basically welcome flow number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paths. So there's basically 7 paths for all these data points, and then 1 generic path for those people who sign up through other avenues, in which case we don't have the exact zero-party data from those people. So let's say they sign up through social media or sign up through checkout. We don't have the data, and then we push them to the generic path here. Number 5, hiding the offer deep in the email. So what do I mean by this? Your leads came in for the offer and you don't want to, hide the offer at all. So what you want to do is to deliver the discount front and center to drive conversions. Following, here I have a different training where you can see exactly how to do this. The anatomy of high converting email design. So how to make your emails designed for conversions. And here's a before after example from Online Sea Credits again, from one of our clients. This is what they used to have in place for welcome email. Just like this super long block and wall of text. Here, small font at the bottom here, the code, small, CTA, another time the code, and then another huge block of text, and then so many CTAs here at the bottom. Just a huge amount of text, no images, no visuals, not anything. Compare that to the new email that we did for them for welcome flow. There's a simple, big headline, 1 sentence of description copy, and then the code here, and then a big, bold, contrasting button here to start learning with 20% off. Then there's a big visual, and then there's infographic sections below it, explain more about what the brand is about for those people who weren't ready to buy straight away at the top here. And then another CTA, the code mentioned here again. And then, this is, compared to this one, we more than doubled the conversions from the first welcome email after making these changes just like a month ago. So the impact is actually huge. Number 6, not using plain text personal emails. So pro tip, at the end of the welcome flow, create a personal email from the founder or CEO or someone in the team with 3 key parts. Number 1, ask why they haven't bought yet. So collect your body data from them. Number 2, offer support by reaching out to our customer support, whatever channel you prefer, mail, number, or chat, for example. And then number 3, which is optional, deliver a personal discount in case they are still interested to move forward. And these last chance plain text emails often drive 1 to 5% of extra sales on top of everyone else who have already converted from the pop-up and from the welcome flow before this email. And they're also super easy to create, they feel authentic, and they convert warm leads who need a nudge. And here's an example, hey coffee lover, hope you're doing well. I'm James, the founder of Balance Coffee. I noticed you haven't bought anything yet. Just wondering, is there something you're curious about or a way we can assist? And then, talking about the brand, asking them to reply to this email. And in here, we didn't offer the extra personal discount, but in some cases we do, and it also performs pretty well usually. All right. And then number 7, not sunsetting the unengaged leads after welcome flow. And this one is interesting. I don't really see much brands do this, but how this works is basically that if someone has joined your email list, gone through the whole nurturing sequence of the welcome emails, but opened 0 of them, it's quite a clear signal of engagement and disinterest. And at this point, we recommend adding an early sunset email. I have a clear tutorial carousel post here from LinkedIn where I explain how to do this. And you do this to identify these unengaged profiles at the end of the welcome flow and send them one last nudge before cleaning them off your list. And this ensures 2 things. Number 1, your deliverability stays high as you won't be sending to low quality audiences anymore. And number 2, you minimize your Klaviyo costs because you won't be paying for these extra profiles on your plan unnecessarily. And here's another example. Hey coffee lover, notice you haven't been following our emails since the Balance Coffee newsletter, since joining the Balance Coffee newsletter a while ago. And then, asking them if they're still interested, press here and we'll keep you posted with even better content in the future. And if, however, you're not interested anymore, we'll respect that and cancel your email subscription in the coming days. So that's basically it. And by just taking these simple tips into account, you can turn your whole email performance around. So that's the complete high converting email welcome flow for e-commerce brands. But here's the thing, email marketing is changing fast and most brands are still stuck running their email like it's 2016. The brands winning right now are using a 5-part framework called Customer Value Optimization that's generated over 50 million euros in revenue for our clients in the past 2 years. If you want to find out more about that and learn the new way to run email marketing, click the video on the screen right now to check it out. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.